Hello, Nigeria. I'm Becky Madujemu, and this is Newsline. I can't thank you enough for dates with this program. You are the best. Among our stories tonight, domestic murder one too many is causing a stir in two communities. The suspects have a lot in common, and their victims are family. Meanwhile, cases of incest are popping up. Two fathers are in the dock for defiling their daughters, while we progress with some of the rape cases started months ago. I can assure you that it's a sizzling package, and it will begin after the news by the charming Joseph Johnson.
Thank you so much, Becky. It's good to see you. President Muhammadu Buhari is assuring Nigerians a full implementation of the 2021 budget with all transparency and openness towards meeting its targets of placing Nigeria on the path of sustainable future. Speaking to journalists in Daura shortly after revalidating his membership status of the APC, the president appreciated the National Assembly for the effective and detailed attention to the critical financial document before its passage.
The budget has expressed the intention of the administration. The National Assembly has passed it. Now we want all ministries and departments and agencies to see what is their share in the budget and how do we secure the National Assembly's support so that by the next budget we can tell Nigerians what we received, how we use it according to the budget, and the balance. We are very proud of making our balance sheet available to the whole nation. We have nothing to hide.
About 260 road projects he inherited. No contractors were inside, but he mobilized contractors, and most of those roads have been finished, and he added more roads, and you can see what is happening. But elites are not talking about that. He gets far less of the money they get, and yet he completed the projects that they could not complete. That is one. Two, when we came in, 27 states were not paying salaries. Some have been arrears for months together. But he bailed all the states out, and they pay arrears of all the salaries and continue to pay salaries up to today. In addition to that, he gave each state 10 billion naira for infrastructure. We call it infrastructure loan that all the state gets. And in addition to that, when oil prices still continue to be down, he gave us what we call budget support. And that is 1 billion naira a month for about 10.
To the legislature now, where Senate President Ahmad Lawan says the National Assembly will exhibit high sense of responsibility and patriotism while conducting a confirmation hearing for the newly appointed service chiefs. Speaking to State House correspondent Adamu Sambo in Dara, Senator Lawan said this is to ensure that the appointees have all it takes towards dismantling prevailing obstacles to national security and stability for a greater Nigeria.
Requesting the Senate to confirm his appointment of the service chiefs, and when the Senate resumes from the 9th of February, we should be able to undertake that exercise very quickly, because this is something that don't have to be delayed at all, even though it's not in our character to delay anything.
What are you going to look at in the confirmation hearing?
Well, I believe that the professionalism is the most important thing. These are people that are supposed to have gone through the mills. They have been there in various positions of responsibilities, and I believe that our committees, the committees will screen and see how fit they are for these positions, and I'm sure that our committees will do a very thorough and proper job.
Those that have worked in the words of the president, they have done their best, and we feel there is need for them to shift and allow younger ones with maybe more ideas to move forward. So we look forward to this, that are new, doing better, so that Nigeria's security will improve.
What we expect them is to work closely with the executive governors, because the executive governors know the problems of their state and they know the problems of their people, and they know the black spots that are existing in their states. So if they work closely with the executive governors, I think they will be able to be on the right footing, and they will get their direction very early. And I wish them good luck for that.
And Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has assented to some bills, including those on kidnapping and rape. A statement by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Ajay Ramatu Adamuguma, explains that with the assenting into law of the Penal 2021, it is now a death sentence under Section 247 of the law in Kebbi State for kidnapping and life imprisonment for rapists, stated in Section 259, subsection 1 of the law in the state. Other bills that have become laws are the establishment of College of Nursing, Brenning Kebbi, Adamu Oji College of Education, Argungu, and that of Revenue Generation. Still talking security matters, troops under the Operation Thunder Strike have rescued 2 kidnapped women in Gwagwada District, Chikung local government area of Kaduna State. A statement by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, says the women were abducted on their way to the farm. The rescued women have been reunited with their families, while 3 of the kidnappers have been apprehended by the troops. In the same vein, air platforms have neutralized fleeing bandits during armed missions over locations in Breningwari, Chikung local government area, and of course, Giwa local government. And the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, says the action plan being implemented by the force to curb all forms of abuse on women and children in the country is yielding positive results. Gufang Shaji tells us more.
The Inspector General of Police has confirmed the arrest of 5 members of a kidnap gang which specializes in the abduction of women and the girl child, sexually abusing them and obtaining ransom from their families before their release. The 5 suspects were arrested by operatives of the Intelligence Response Team following mass manhunt by the force for the perpetrators of the recent trend of abduction of women in some states in the south part of the country, especially Port Harcourt and its environs. Similarly, operatives of the Nigerian Police Interpol National Central Bureau, Abuja, arrested 2 Kano-based suspects. Investigations revealed that the suspects are members of a trans-border international child porn syndicate which sexually abuses and take undue advantage of underage girls and disseminate the video recordings of the illicit sexual acts on an international social media WhatsApp group owned and managed by a Brazilian called Adriana. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police notes that a total of 2,792 suspects were arrested by the police for sexual and gender-based violence and other sexual-related offenses in the year 2020. The arrests are linked to the 2,573 cases currently being prosecuted under the Forced Gender Unit in various courts across the country. Others are still under active investigations. The IGP enjoins parents and guardians to keep a close watch on their children and wards and report any incidents of abuse against women and children. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji.
In continuation of his engagement with herdsmen and rural dwellers, Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmad Mahmood Gumi has reached out to another group of herders in Chikung local government area of the state on the need to lay down their arms and embrace legal and sustainable initiatives. Suleiman Abdullahi Chikung reports.
It was a journey of 25 kilometers to Ruga Malam Sali, a Fulani settlement in Chikun local government area by Sheikh Ahmad Mahmoud Gumi and his entourage, including representative of renowned Sheikh Dahir Usman Bauchi.
Our main concern now is those perpetrating crimes among herders. Let us form ourselves into committees to de-radicalize them. We must give priority to education of our wards.
The visit, like the previous 4, saw verbal commitment and strong determination to de-radicalize the youths, encourage them to seek knowledge and vocational skills. Speakers at various settlements agreed to give peace a chance surrender their arms and give Sheikh Gumi the benefit of doubt as he expands the discourse to relevant quarters. Sheikh Gumi presented copies of books with a pledge to provide the communities with school, health facility, and vocational training center for women and youths. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachkun, NTA News.
The federal government says Nigeria's low rating in the 2020 Transparency International Corruption Perception Index is not a true reflection of the great strides by the country in its fight against corruption. In a statement, Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed assures that the country's anti-corruption agenda, which places great emphasis on corruption, prevention and building of integrity systems, remains on course. The minister said the implementation of the various reforms, especially in the ease of doing business, is expected to yield positive outcomes in the country's corruption perception and other relevant assessments in the next 12 to 24 months. He emphasizes that the preventive mechanisms are in response to various local and international reviews and evaluation that Nigeria has gone through, including those from the United Nations Convention. The presidency is appealing to Nigerians to comply with the just signed executive order that makes mask wearing and observation of social distancing in the public mandatory, noting that President Muhammadu Buhari introduced the order with the best of intentions, not with any motive to punish citizens. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the presidency appeals to relevant social actors to play active roles in the sensitization and enforcement of the order to avoid crude methods that may create resistance and resentment, thereby defeating the primary goal of the executive order. The Buhari administration, the statement says, is most reluctant to lock down the country and continues to emphasize the non-pharmaceutical measures. Though vaccine availability is within reach, the propensity of the public for non-compliance weakens the fight against the virus, the statement stresses, noting that public health is one of the sacred duties of any responsible government and that the administration will not abdicate that responsibility. The statement admonishes Nigerians to have it in mind that the COVID-19 pandemic is not only a threat to the health of the population, but equally to the national economy and to every aspect of our everyday lives. The Kano State government has inaugurated 2,000 environmental and community health workers in a bid to curb community transmission as the second wave of COVID-19 rages on. Abdullahi Mustafa reports that the COVID-19 marshals are saddled with the responsibility of educating the public and enforcing compliance with laid-down protocols.
We'll do anything possible within the power given to us for the success of this assignment.
The formation and inauguration of COVID-19 control marshals were part of decisions taken during a series of meetings with stakeholders against the resurgence of the pandemic in Kano State. This is to strengthen risk communication and other infection prevention and control strategies.
Many people are dying, and we cannot wait and see the continuous spread of this pandemic among our population.
The need for more sensitization and enforcement was stressed in presentations by the Technical Response Team's chairman and other speakers, showing increase in positivity, severity and fatality rates.
Between November, December, January, we have seen increase in the number of deaths due to COVID-19 in Kano.
Heads of security agencies and traditional leaders assured of support towards successful execution of the COVID-19 control marshal's assignment. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command, has seized the largest singular hard drugs substance weighing over 26 kilograms with a value of 7 billion naira. The command, during operations, arrested 7 suspects in connection with this unlawful act. Abolade Salami reports.
With its avowed determination not to give room for the use or trafficking of hard drugs in and out of the country, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency set in motion mechanisms to detect and identify persons who violate or abuse laws prohibiting the use of illicit substances. In the light of this, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command in January made a total seizure of 36.200 kilograms of cocaine and heroin, alongside the arrest of 5 suspects. The eagle-eyed surveillance approach adopted by officers and men of the command led to the arrest of these suspects, who had in their possession various sizes of cocaine and heroin.
Again, there was a detained bag that came on Ethiopian Airlines. The passenger came and the luggage was abandoned. And so they started making effort from outside to see how they are going to retrieve the bag. So a sting operation was planned and we are able to arrest 3 people. We are still on the lookout for other people that conspired with them.
However, of the 7 suspects arrested, comprising 5 males and 2 females, the command revealed that a suspect has excreted 68 wraps, while the 26.850 kilograms concealed and sewn in a duvet was uncovered.
I really don't know too much about it. I was just focusing on the 4,000 euro that was promised.
I've never found myself, never seen myself like this.
The drug control strategy adopted by the command, the commander said, is in line with the directive of the chairman on a mission against drug traffickers. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Van Osita Okechukwu, has hailed President Muhammadu Buhari for promoting the doctrine of internal democracy in the ruling party. This is as the All Progressives Congress APC flags off membership revalidation nationwide. In a statement, the DG Van praised the President for upholding Section 7 of the APC Constitution with his declaration of no imposition of candidates. This, he says, has undoubtedly raised the red flag to ubiquitous politicians who do not mean well for the APC and the nation. Okechukwu further described President Buhari's proclamation as the surest route to participatory democracy and thus advised those who are nursing the idea of imposition to heed the call made by the President, as imposition does not enhance the growth of democracy. President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with foremost historian Professor Shion Oyeweso as he turns 60 and salutes his commitment to scholarship, which has seen him author dozens of books and over 150 academic publications. The president urges Professor Oyeweso to continue molding the younger generation to appreciate intellectual rigor, research and scholarship. He noted that such are the building blocks of a society and nation that would endure and hold its own in the Committee of Nations. President Buhari rejoices with the family, friends and acquaintances of Professor Oyeweso, as well as the academia in general, as they celebrate one of their own. Now, when a subordinate is dedicated and understands how to go about his routine, his principal goes to sleep with 2 eyes closed. Anthony Forson reports about an orderly whose principal goes to sleep while he kills the night. The report.
In 2015, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed was handed over the management kit of the nation's information warehouse. Little did he know about a police sergeant called Lucky Moses. But as fate of service will have it, Sergeant Lucky Moses was assigned to the Information and Culture Minister as his orderly. 5 years down the road, and still counting, Sergeant Lucky Moses, at inception, has today rose to the rank of an Assistant Superintendent of Police. In a show of appreciation for his dedication to duty, the Information and Culture Minister, accompanied by his youth and sports counterpart, Sunday Dari, decorated Lucky Moses. Incidentally, Sunday Dari's orderly is also a beneficiary of the Police Service Commission's promotion laris.
And oddly, I think the first requirement is loyalty. Moses is fiercely loyal.
For the 2 promoted police orderlies, their gratitude to their bosses and the Police Service Commission is not quantifiable.
With the encouragement I always get from him, I feel not to even retire from the police job.
Promotion comes from God. It's not by a power, it's not by anyone making, but God can only use human being to facilitate it.
All right, over 3,500 women from the 20 local government areas of Ogun State have received 20,000 naira each under the federal government special cash grant for Rural Women Project. Lekon Agbonde has details.
At the flag-off ceremony of the ongoing federal government cash grant for rural women in Ogun State, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, who was represented, said the disbursement is intended to sustain the social inclusion agenda of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. She explained that the one-off grant will no doubt create the needed financial support for the poor and vulnerable in the society to scale the poverty bracket in the next 10 years.
Since its introduction in 2016, Your Excellency, the Social Investment Program has impacted positively on the lives of the poor and vulnerable in Nigeria, as over 12 million households have benefited from NSIP interventions in the last 5 years.
The beneficiaries, while appreciating the federal government for the support, said the grant will definitely improve their living standards.
I really want to appreciate and thank the federal government for the assistance, because this will go a long way in ensuring that our means of livelihood is sustained, particularly in this COVID-19 period.
The state government expressed gratitude to the federal government for initiating programs targeting the empowerment of the rural women in the country. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
There is no better way to fight the challenges of insecurity, promote unity and love than through religious teachings. This was the submission of Islamic clerics during the 3rd annual World Maulud to commemorate the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which took place in Dutse, the Jigawa state capital. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports.
The World Annual Maulud celebration is being organized by Jam'iyyatu Asarjin at Tijaniya under the leadership of Grand Khalifa of Tijaniya worldwide. The popular Tijaniya movement, founded in 1966 by renowned late Senegalese-born Sheikh Ibrahim Inyas, with a view to commemorate and promote the virtues of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The event is therefore rotated among member countries with large followership of Tijaniya sect as a platform to promote unity and tolerance among Islamic faithful. Scholars spoke on the virtues, life, exemplary leadership qualities, as well as relationship of the Prophet with faithfuls and adherents of other faiths.
This Maulud and this activity will offer a lot of rest for the peace and tranquility of this country.
We should emulate that culture and the habit of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in leadership, in our families, and in all ramifications of life.
If we abide by this, if we employ the mechanism of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we shall live a happy life, a united Nigeria.
And so a true Muslim is also expected to extend love and kindness and goodness to all manner of people, irrespective of where they come from.
The Jigawa event had the theme, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the perfect figure. In Dutse, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
Let's bring in sports now. Federal government pledges support to Nigeria Rowing, Canoeing and Sailing Federation. Ayodeji Makinde has this and more on Sports Update.
Nigeria Rowing, Canoeing and Sailing Federation has reiterated its commitment to developing athletes capable of challenging for Olympic and world titles. This was re-echoed at this year's Festus Pobeni Boat Race, which held at Jabi Lake, Abuja, where Africa's #1 canoeist, Ayomide Bello, set for the Tokyo Olympics alongside rower Esther Toko and Paralympic-bound para-rower Kingsley Okorafor further cemented their status as the best.
And we believe that if they get the training that is needed, they go to the competitions that they need. I've just told Admiral Pobeni, the president, to put together a tight program they will compete with some of the best in the world. That's the way we can sharpen them and get them ready.
Now that the government is promising us to take us to Germany for 3 months training, I'm very sure that 3 months of training will never waste. That we're going to come back with more than.
We are planning to have our West African canoe and rowing championship, which was supposed to hold last year, April. We're looking for how we can make it happen for this year.
In football, Abia Warriors forced Lobby Stars to a goalless draw on match day 7 of the Nigeria Professional Football League, televised on the NTA on Sunday. In other results, Tosin Omoyele's strike earned Eyimba a lone goal victory over Katsina United, as Sunshine Stars recorded a 3-1 victory over Enugu Rangers in Akure. In a related development, the Nigerian National League rose from its emergency congress in Abakaliki to unanimously agree on 13th February as the new kickoff date, while upholding an abridged league format of 4 groups equally split into 2 for the Northern and Southern conferences. In the Premier League, Thomas Tuchel recorded his first win as Chelsea manager with a 2-0 win over Burnley, with strikes from Cesar Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso, while Leeds United cruised to a 3-1 victory over Leicester City. In Abuja, I'm Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
And that's the news from this end. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I'm Joseph Johnson. We take some messages now, and when we return, Newsline continues with Becky in Lagos. And of course, I know you wouldn't want to miss any of our stories, would you? So stay with us.
Are you ready for this?
Let me hear you, AJ. Give me some bass. That good for you? Nice, AJ. Just one. Bring it up. Just one. Double it. Just one. Just one. Just one.
I was born hungry for success. It's the Nigerian way.
Glow gets it. Champions stay hungry. Oh yeah. Glow gets it big time.
One more for sure.
Champions go the distance and then go further.
Glow, the heart of a champion.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
It's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
This is a public service announcement on your national identification number, NIN. First, dial *346# to get your NIN and write it down. This will enable you link your NIN to all your numbers easily. You can now use any of these 4 ways to link your NIN to all your MTN lines. 1. Dial *785 *NIN#. 2. Visit My MTN app. 3. Visit www.nin.mtnonline.com. 4. Text your NIN number to 785. Remember, this includes your data SIMs and other alternate lines. For those without NIN, visit the NIMSI website to find a registration location. Avoid disconnection. Link your NIN to all your MTN lines before 9th February 2021.
Just how powerful is the healing power of Vaseline in protecting your skin this Harmattan season? Imagine this leaf is like your skin. We applied Vaseline jelly to one leaf, the other we left alone. The difference is visible. If it can keep a leaf vibrant, imagine what it could do for your skin during Harmattan. Nothing locks in moisture better to keep your skin restored, soft, and smooth. Your trusted companion during this Harmattan season.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire.
Teacher Yomo, a fellow one country. Teacher Yomo, a fellow one country. Omoni resiti me.
Ajebo na better school for last gidi. Not be all this on a rugged school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Kadesi. We know happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, Shao. Sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I mean, I talk with that now.
Not for me. You want me to die?
Not for me because of Pamio.
Omoni resiti.
Thank you for being there. Globally, incest is regarded as disturbing, abominable acts that will now move to Mowe in Ogun State, where a father had carnal knowledge of his daughter. Leko Agbonde reports that the incest allegedly continued unchecked for 2 years.
Mowe in Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State is located along the Lagos Expressway. This is the town where a father engaged in incest with his own daughter. The act many described as ungodly. It started when the girl turned 14 and continued repeatedly for 2 years, despite her complaints about this amorous assault, until the abused girl summoned courage to share her experience with a neighbor.
I went to shower, so I didn't say I want to sleep. And I told him that I should wait, that she wants to check maybe I'm virgin. And I told him that I'm not a baby, so I'm still a virgin. She said no, that I must, that she wants to check. So that day, and I said, I'm crying, but no one answered. He now took cutlass that we caused one of my hand if I did not accept. So that day now left. See, I must not tell anybody that oath is there.
Although many of such cases abound and unreported, her neighbor declined to hide the information but reported it at the Ogun State Command of the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps for further investigation, which later led to the arrest of the man behind the incest.
The most important thing is to rescue the child first, which we have done that, and then we have also relocated the girl from the father's house to be in care of the mother.
The suspect, Abolore Bello Nias, who confessed to the crime, blamed the act to bundles of love he has for his daughter.
It's the daughter that I like. So I don't know how that is happening. So I'm not in God's way, but now everything is clear that what I've done is sin, and I beg God to forgive my forgiveness.
The question many are seeking answer for is why a father who has a wife at home will suddenly develop interest in engaging in an uncontrolled sexual relationship with his own daughter and committed an incest which African culture frowns at and regarded as abominable.
Broken relationship is a factor in the growth of pedophiles taking advantage of the girl child. We also need, of course, to be vigilant at what is happening in the neighborhood.
Some of these issues are very, they are new to our society. And we want to believe it has to do with the kind of life that we are experiencing.
They need a psychological and they need to cancel him and he needs to be punished.
Ogun State Command of the NSCDC assured that the suspect will be prosecuted and be punished for leaving unhealed wound locked in the heart of his own daughter.
We may never find the answers to why some people desire family members. It's unimaginable. Victims of sexual molestation are forced to deal with the emotional and physical trauma. Even when they get professional help, healing may take time. Sometimes the scars last a lifetime. So one can only imagine the psychological baggage young victims of sexual abuse carry from childhood to their adult life. Then it's worse when the abuser is a family member. This is why 20-year-old Fatima Usman, who claims she was deflowered by her father at the age of 12, is still a prisoner of her past. Olubukola Aduwo takes it from here.
This one-story building is located in the heart of Owo, one of the major towns in Ondo State, and this is where the ordeal of Fatima Momo began 8 years ago. She was just 12 years old then. As her story goes, her father, a staff of one of the higher institutions in Ondo State, will normally wake her up in the middle of the night and take her to the kitchen, where on one of such occasions, he deflowered her. The father continued the shameful and criminal act until last December, when Fatima, a school cert holder, got fed up and cried for help.
Anytime he touches me, I tell him to leave me, but he will beat me and say if I don't cooperate, he will kill me.
All the while, Fatima's mother, a petty trader, claimed ignorance of what was going on. The alarm by Fatima caused family members to inform the police. The release of the alleged suspect angered the wife of the Ondo State Governor, Betty Anyanwa-Keredolu, who sent a team to Owo and ordered the rearrest of the alleged rapist and full investigation into the matter. Usman is now cooling off his heels at the Criminal Investigation Department, where the police is intensifying investigation into the matter.
I slept with my daughter just once. It is the work of the devil, and I pray that all Nigerians should forgive me.
How would a father have time to discuss such illicit discussions with the daughter, to the extent that the mother will not know from what the girl is saying? For about 2 or so years now, they've been having this phone, yet the mother is not aware.
The wife of the governor promised that she will ensure that justice is done in the matter.
We have plans in rehabilitating her. We have plans in giving her the medical support.
Whenever a man, whether a father or a relation or some distant person, is trying to make advances to them, first they should be able to talk and speak out.
The police say this time Usman will remain in custody until investigation is concluded.
He's been through a lot, so I can't help but empathize. Now, the popular saying, do unto others as you would want done to you, is a reminder that we must be our brother's keeper. Yet, people can be unkind and mean, not just to adults, but to innocent minors. Mina Adaobi Ukwabasi brings us several dehumanizing scenarios.
This is 10-year-old Master Lawrence Okoronwe, who resides with his uncle, Mr. Samuel Okoronwe, in Enugu State. Little Lawrence has been hospitalized for 5 days as at the time of this report, over various degrees of burns and other injuries inflicted upon him by his uncle and guardian, Mr. Samuel Okoronwe, as punishments each time he erred. Some of the marks on his body are deep cuts from electric cable wires also used on him by same uncle, who neither sent him to school nor gave him a sense of belonging, but rather subjected him to series of inhuman treatments. An officer from the Prevention and Protection Against Child Abuse and Neglect, AMPCAN, Amarachi Wogogo, said the agency was alerted by a concerned neighbor who spoke on conditions of anonymity.
When we heard from the boy, he said that when the iron was completely hot, he pressed it so hard on him to ensure that the thing actually burnt him properly. So that was how he got this child burnt, and we were left without any option than to get him arrested. Right now he's in custody.
In the same vein, 10-year-old Chidera Ude, who hails from Amokwe in Udi, local government area of Enugu State, has been rescued by the Women Aid Collective, WACO, from her aunt, Ifeanyi Ude, who inflicted series of injuries on her head using broken stones for her carefree attitude towards her baby. Chidera is said to have suffered battering in the hands of her aunt. The latest assault drew the attention of a good-spirited Nigerian who reported the case to the Gariki police station Enugu, where WACO took up the case.
When I carry her baby and be feeding her baby, and the baby was struggling, and the baby now fell down. She now came outside. She did not ask me anything, and she now come and carry stone and start hitting on my head.
According to the communication officer WACO, Egodi Igwe, Chidera has been undergoing treatment while the case is under investigation by the police. She, however, called on Nigerians to always report cases of abuse against children.
When you give out your child, you don't just give them out and forget about them as if they don't have family again. You should take time to also visit. We decided to intervene in area of providing shelter for her because as it is, she doesn't have an immediate family that is readily available to assist.
Chidera Ude is left with a single parent who has been battling a terminal disease.
We just hope that they get justice. There's anxiety among members of two communities in Anambra State following two similar tragic incidents that happened in quick succession in Oka North local government area. A 60-year-old hunter, Uche Chukwunweke, allegedly murdered his wife and son before setting his residence ablaze. 2 days later, in Ofufe Nza Ozubulu in Kwisugo local government area, a carpenter, Chukwemeka Obijofo, allegedly killed his wife and son. Udo Kurunkochuku will provide details on the homicides.
People of Amanuke woke up on that fateful day to behold the dead bodies of Uche Chukwunweke and his wife Patricia at strategic parts of the compound, and the charred remains of his son Obina inside their completely burnt home. The tragic incident was said to be as a result of his support for the second wife in a case involving the ownership of a plantain tree among his wives in November last year. As a result, his first wife and her sons allegedly beat him to a pulp, incapacitated by ill health by the alleged beating and his inability to pay for a surgery. Perhaps Mr. Nweke decided to end it all.
And he came back home and started crying like a child. That why should my children beat me, as if to say that I don't have any other thing.
His grief-stricken family members claim that he carried out the killings and destruction of another house he built in a farm settlement around 3 a.m. without their knowledge. The family compound is now desolate except for rubbles and 2 graves of Mr. Nweke and his son. The family of his wife took her corpse away.
Gira rona gwa gị ọgbacharo na ogbewaro na ihe mekwe ya ekwensu akwa ịghọta bụ na nwoke ahụ dị ndụ kịta aga na-akọwa ọ ga na-ekwu ihe dị ya mana ọ gwara m ma ọ gwara onye ma ọ gwara di m ihe o mere ma ihe dị anụche ọ chọrọ ime ka wee gbochie akwa ịghọta.
Similarly, in Ofufenza, that is approximately 47 kilometers, that is 1 hour, 20 minutes drive from Oka, the state capital. The state recorded another murder case involving members of the same family. 28-year-old Chukwemeka Obijafo was said to have killed his 26-year-old wife Chisom and her 4-year-old son at about 7 in the evening. A native of Osumenyibe, resident of Ofufenza Ozublu, his neighbors described the carpenter as a good family man whose action on that day still remains surprising to the community.
I was inside my house hearing Jesus. Then I come outside. From my coming outside, one girl double crossed me, went to the gate of the compound, opened the gate. Immediately, the wife of the person jumped out. The girl started telling me, say, help me, help me. The guy on my back with the child. Lord, we run inside the bush and killed, started hitting them. Before then, as he was hitting the woman, then I put hand from my pocket, ran outside with the tears of blood to call the security.
I know the man is not a troublemaker, but me too, I'm surprised how it can take happen, because I know him well. He loves his children and his family very well.
The Anambra State Police Command says the Amanuke case is closed, while in Ofufenza Ozoblu, investigation is still ongoing.
It's a worrisome pattern, and may the souls of the victims rest in peace. Hold on as we go on a break for a few messages. Be right back.
Times are tough. We know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. Its great value, it protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
This is a public service announcement on your National Identification Number, NIN. First, dial *346# to get your NIN and write it down. This will enable you link your NIN to all your numbers easily. You can now use any of these 4 ways to link your NIN to all your MTN lines. 1. Dial *785*NIN#. 2. Visit My MTN app. 3. Visit www.nin.mtnonline.com. 4. Text your NIN number to 785. Remember, this includes your data SIMs and other alternate lines. For those without NIN, visit the NIMSI website to find a registration location. Avoid disconnection. Link your NIN to all your MTN lines before 9th February 2021.
Washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts and lasts and lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness.
Leadership comes with lots of expectations, depending on the mandate before those in charge. And members of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives took this into consideration when they selected new leaders to pilot the affairs of the association. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
Health workers are giants in the front line of life support to humanity, and for those foot soldiers of Florence Nightingale who make up the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, it is a natural call that must be answered despite the work pressure as critical frontliners in the war against coronavirus pandemic. The association that binds them together must not suffer as they carefully planned and executed 7 quadrennial delegate conference held in Abuja, where a new leadership emerged from an election conducted via electronic voting system. Power has been transferred, and the outgoing and incoming presidents of the association both dwell on a united, strong and consolidated agenda for improved welfare and condition of service.
The nurses are the frontline health workers, and we are out to sacrifice both our life and service to our people. What we only appeal to government to provide us needed equipment.
As for me and the people I believe in, you will not see us calling you to incite you against another person.
Some of the delegates expressed their feelings and expectations.
With this issue of rampaging COVID-19, we want the leadership to take it upon themselves to meet up with the government so that the government will know that yes, we are frontline health workers.
We look forward to see how they can be able to unite Nigerian nurses together. We look forward on how they can be able to make nursing profession in Nigeria to compete with other nursing cadres in part of the world.
It is a new dawn for the association, and messages of solidarity and support for the success of the new leadership came from stakeholders, including the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress.
If there is unity of purpose and respect for the Constitution of the Union, leadership are supposed to uphold the Constitution of the Union, then you will limit rancor.
The leaders has now emerged, and therefore we pray that the Almighty God guide these leaders so they can be able to deliver, take the professions, and continue from where the immediate leaders have stopped.
The journey may have just begun. The task may be daunting at this critical period of our national life, but the language these men and women who are upholding the legacy of humanity, compassion and care that is synonymous with the mother of nursing profession, Florence Nightingale, hope to see the next 4 years in outstanding performance.
The new ESCO is ready to change the fortunes of the association, and good luck to them. Moving on, precisely March last year, a 12-year-old girl was allegedly raped in Sokoto by 7 men. The suspects were arrested and arraigned before a court. However, justice is being delayed due to endless adjournments. The girl and her mother are now totally fed up with the slow proceedings. The Hatu Abdullahi reports.
The alleged gang rape by 7 men of 12-year-old minor was reported to have occurred on the 2nd of March 2020 at Tudunwada area, Sokoto South local government. The mother of the victim reported the matter to the area police station, where the 7 suspects were arrested and investigated, after which they were referred to the State Police Command for further action. The victim was taken to the hospital and treated. After investigations, the State Police Command filed the matter at a magistrate court in Kwanawa area, Dengeshuni local government. The magistrate court remanded the 7 suspects and later granted them bail after meeting all the required bail conditions. The victim, based on the trauma and stigma, had remained indoors without even going to school or relating with her friends. The victim, whose father is late,
saboda mutanen suna nuna cewa kes ya kare ba abin da za a yi musu.
Her mother is now crying out for justice, complaining of too much delay in handling the matter at the magistrate court. The State Attorney General and the Commissioner of Justice, Suleiman Usman SAN, said the matter is undergoing due judicial processes. He said such judicial processes take long time to gather necessary facts and evidence. He noted that before granting the suspects bail, they met all the bail conditions coupled with the directives to depopulate the nation's correctional centers due to outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic.
As the Attorney General of Sokoto State, I give the public bold and confident assurance that I will see to it that this case is prosecuted, and possibly I may take it upon myself to prosecute it myself with the support of my legal team.
The Sokoto State Commissioner for Women and Children Affairs, Kulu Abdullahi Sifawa, urged parents to stop hiding gender-based violence, including rape cases, saying government will not allow those involved to go scot-free. She noted that committees have been set up in all the local government areas of the state for consultation in case of such eventualities.
Heart-wrenching crime. We hope justice comes speedily. Now let's update you on some rape cases in Kaswadere in Chanchaga suburb of Minna, the Niger State capital. Latest is that a magistrate's court has rejected the medical report tendered by the prosecution with regards to the case involving a 55-year-old suspect, Mohammed Ibrahim, and a 10-year-old girl. Could this be a setback for the case? Let's find out from Mukhtar Abubakar Wowo, who's been following the rape cases in Niger State.
The continuation of hearing, the prosecution presented its third witness, who was the investigation police officer, IPO, of the case. The IPO identified the suspect, Mohammed Ibrahim, and submitted that he voluntarily narrated what transpired between him and the 10-year-old girl. The police witness alleged that the acclaimed 55-year-old suspect, Mohammed Ibrahim, confessed to committing the crime. He further told the court that the suspect confessed to have lured the girl into his room on the 7th of July 2020 and had carnal knowledge of her, while a group of people interrupted him on the second attempt of July 9, leading to his arrest. The prosecution then tendered the alleged recorded confessional statement and a medical report of the incident. Senior Magistrate Paul Aliyu Adama of the Senior Magistrate Court 5 Tungamina, however, admitted the confessional statement of Mohammed Ibrahim as evidence in the case, but rejected the medical report as no foundation was made and the hospital authority was not in the court to interpret. The suspect, in his usual character, declined to cross-examine the police witness, submitting that he hands over everything to God. The prosecution thereafter closed his case, expecting the suspect to enter his defense. In his ruling, Senior Magistrate Paul Aliyu Adama said, having listened to the testimonies of the prosecution witnesses and the exhibit tendered, the court is of the view that the prosecution has established a prima facie case of unlawful sexual intercourse with a child, contrary to Section 18, subsection 2 of the Niger State Child Right Law 2010. Senior Magistrate Paul Aliyu Adama also ruled that, considering the gravity of the punishment for the offense, ordered that legal aid counsel be contacted to help the suspect in defense and adjourned the case to the 23rd of February this year.
More to come in that regard. Now, relief and hope have enveloped Rachel Lina as a young daughter, Blessing, who almost lost her life to ritualists on the 1st of January in Abraka, has regained her health and gradually integrating into society. Onye Joshua Ifeanyi has an update.
No mother ever wants to experience the pain of losing a child in her lifetime. This you can see in the visible sign of relief in the face of Rachel Ine as she narrates her daughter's ordeal in the hands of a ritualist disguised as a neighbor. She was reluctant at first to tell her story for fear of endangering her daughter's life, but after much specifying, she opened up.
What really happened is just God's intervention. She shall not get I even borrow money to go pay for the hospital bill.
The young girl of 12, Blessing Ine, is in a stable condition now, but the scars on her neck tells of her horrific experience. She has rejoined her classmates in school.
There was this man that was coming on his way. So he said that I should help him to buy pure water for him. I told him that my mommy sent me for an errand. But he said, okay, when I'm coming, I should bring the water. Then he said I should come and collect the money. He said I should enter inside. I said, no, I can't. Then he dragged me inside the house. I was screaming, but no one heard me to rescue me. But I thank God, God has rescued my life.
The school proprietress, Justina Ogboru, said the school management is doing all it can to help her mental and physiological integration into the society once again.
At first she was like shocked, but now with everybody cooperating with her, she's doing well.
The police public relations officer, DSP Onome Onuapoyeya, said the police is on the case.
Arrested an additional suspect who happens to be the landlord of the compound and is in our custody right here in Asaba. And investigation is ongoing as it is.
Blessing Ine went missing in Abraka on New Year Day. She was found 5 days after in an empty sewage tank with her throat slit and a stab on her back in an attempted ritual killing.
So happy for Rachel and her daughter. That was cheering news. The growing presence of homeless kids on the streets of Uyo is what we will highlight in the next report. Findings reveal that some of the affected children who were abandoned by their parents have made the popular Ibom Plaza access their hangout and sleepover spot. Apart from becoming street smart, they are vulnerable to all forms of abuse. For instance, Blessing Divine was raped and impregnated by a stranger at that plaza. Joe Bani tells us more.
My brother is late.
Blessing and Divine, 18 and 16-year-old, are some of vulnerable children in the society who face hardship as a result of neglect or mere nonchalant attitude by their parents. In Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, some of these children make their homes in the popular Ibom Plaza, thereby exposing themselves to danger.
Sometimes I'm sleeping in plaza with many people and these officers, and they don't allow me to lie down. I'll tell them I don't have where to sleep. They don't allow me to stay there with them, or they will cover me in cold because of cold inside my body.
You are pregnant. Eyewitness around Plaza say, despite government effort to evacuate street children, from time to time, some are still roaming about their environs and most time engage in social vices.
Early morning when you come, they say last week they got drunk. Drunk where from here last week. Now from here, they stand here, begin to pull down. If not be this army, these people, I didn't come and help them.
I have observed this influx of children, some underage at the plaza, and it's a bit better now. But as at last year, before December, there were so many of them. They even had a union to help themselves. I interacted with them and asked some of them about their parents. They were telling me that they accused them of witchcraft, then pushed them out of home. Then some of them were sent to serve under masters and mistresses.
I think government should create a kind of a social welfare scheme that can help this kind of people that do not have enough support from the family. Although I've seen what government is doing is good by providing free and compulsory education, that will also help in shaping the lifestyle of the child. So government should do more.
The only thing government can do is to stop selling market in this place.
On the part of government, Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Ini Adiakpan, expressed displeasure and reiterated government's commitment to their welfare. If the state governments take responsibility for these street children, it is believed that the society will witness less crime.
Kids need to be taken off the streets to prevent more sordid situations. Now, over 8,000 internally displaced persons in Makurdi are crying out to relevant agencies and well-meaning Nigerians to come to their aid by providing basic amenities in their camp to improve their already deplorable living condition and guard against the outbreak of diseases. Ode Moses Ajawo visited the camp for Newsline and reports that this set of IDPs have just been relocated to their current facility.
It's a Sayan-Dev camp located along University of Agriculture Road here in Makurdi, housing over 8,040 internally displaced persons drawn from various local government areas within the state.
This set of internally displaced persons from 842 households are among those displaced over 3 years ago due to the former header crisis that ravaged some parts of Benue and neighboring states. Since the incident, life has not been the same as some of the displaced persons have nowhere to call a home and left at the mercy of good-spirited individuals and agencies for their daily needs. This development has left most of them to resort to street begging for survival. While they await a return to their ancestral homes, they say their relocation to a new facility has further plunged them into difficulties.
So the place is a market square. The present government now is mine. She wants to change, open the market.
Cannot have any toilet, water, even houses, and I can say food. Now we are still suffering.
We don't have school here. My children are not going to school.
The lack of adequate basic amenities like water and toilet facilities in their recently relocated camp, if not urgently addressed, could enable an outbreak of various contagious diseases like cholera, tuberculosis, and the coronavirus pandemic.
Sent my rapid response team to that center. They'll look at the possibility of supplying safe water to them immediately.
The IDP camps have filled up. Well, the situation of that place, the environment is not conducive for human beings to stay. We are looking forward to see how we can put our heads together to make some manual houses for them.
Executive Secretary, Benue State Emergency Management Agency, Sho Emmanuel, assures the internally displaced persons of the agency's readiness to collaborate with other agencies to address their challenges.
Action Aid has promised to make shelters. So Benue State government will provide medical care, will provide security to them, will provide food, and will of course attend to their other needs.
When the implementation of the 2021 budget starts, we are coming with more items that will take care of the increased number of POCs in the IDP camp.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, Benue State so far has a total number of over 18,000 internally displaced persons across the state.
That exposure help is certainly on the way. Time has come for another set of commercials. Newsline continues in a moment.
Times are tough. We know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. It's great value. It protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems, which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
It's the natural ingredients and rich flavor of Knorr that brings people together.
See how much it now looks better. Golden pennies and movita. New look, the same great taste. Golden pennies and movita.
New look, same great taste with natural ingredients. Contains proteins that help maintain a balanced diet.
New look, same great taste.
Golden Penny Semovita, your soul food.
The
This is the Wilson family last week. This is the Wilson family this week. What's changed? What? The Wilson family got maximum entertainment for less, and now they're closer than ever. Your family can be too.
How does this work?
With world-class international channels that put the quality back in your quality time.
That's what I'm talking about.
GoTV Max will bring you and your family closer in no time. So upgrade to GoTV Max for only 2,999 naira today. Make you enjoy. GoTV. Love it.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000